Hello ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching Congo TV. Big thanks to everybody that keeps liking, commenting and sharing our videos. Ladies and gentlemen, the presidential press, the Congolese presidential press. I have once here talked about the presidential press, the mistakes they were making that are not supposed to come from a presidential press. This presidential press has been full of incompetence, that's full of a lot of mistakes, a lot of lack of professionalism. This press hasn't been doing their good job the way it was supposed to. Now the president has finally decided to name a chief of his communicators, of his press. So let's read this report about the nomination and then we'll discuss this. Ladies and gentlemen, it says, DRC, Fachi is Felix Tshisekedi Chilombo. DRC, Fachi finds a chief of his communicators. The head of state was fed up with the performance of the presidential press and presidential communication directors. After almost 17 months of service, he relieved them of the tasks related to their brand image. Michel Mulumba, assistant to the President of the Republic, was designated to view and sort all the presidential images before their publication. The decision is contained with the circular note dated May 7, 2020 and signed by the hand of the Head of Internal Security Coordination in the Office of the Head of State, Dr. A. Didier Botaopata Mafuta. Written in a firm tone for the attention of the directors of presidential press and of the presidential communication, the note stipulates that from this date, no publication of presidential videos or photographic images will be tolerated without the prior notice of the VIP/HE assistant, Mr. Michel Mulumba, who has been designated to view and sort images before any publication. Censorship, denial, disappointment. There are no words to find an explanation for the measure by the head of state which suggests that Felix Tshisekedi is not satisfied with the performance of his press and communication teams after nearly 17 months of service, to the point of finding them a new chief. Under the seal of anonymity, sources report that the main leaders of the direction of presidential press and direction of communication are not in their place and do not contribute by their sometimes shoddy work to the influence of the image of the president of the republic in public opinion. Others evoke a recovery in hand and go so far as to recall the spelling and grammar errors criticized in the messages posted on the social Twitter account of the President of the Republic and in some dispatches given to the press by these services. From the conception of the communication strategy to the management of media, there is a lot to complain about. Even though the measure, some observers believe it risks creating more problems than solutions, as the assistant to the President of the Republic is, administratively speaking, less ranked than the directors, heads of department, placed in certain respects for certain specific tasks under the orders. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard for yourselves. In one of my recent videos, I mentioned one of the mistakes the presidential press made when His Excellency Felix Tshisekedi Chilombo and the former president, His Honorable Joseph Kabila, met. The report that I read here from the presidential press reported that two high personalities met and blah blah blah. I said here that there are not two high personalities there. There's a president and a non-honorable. That means the president has a higher personality than a honorable, so they cannot say the two high personalities. But that same evening, as if that was not enough, that same evening the presidential press went ahead and posted on their Twitter official page that the president, Felix Tshisekedi, met His Excellency Joseph Kabila. Two His Excellencies, two presidents. How can there be a president and another His Excellency in one country? Those are one of the mistakes. Now, grammar mistakes. There used to be some documents that used to be to come out of the presidency with grammar mistakes. That's not understandable at all, because the president has a cabinet. Those documents has to be read. That means those documents has to be read at least by more than one person to make sure there's no mistakes. You know, when the president makes mistakes, we understand, because not every president is a communicator. Even when if Trump makes mistakes, people cannot really criticize him that much, because he's not a communicator. He's not a professional communicator. You know, he makes a lot of mistakes too in communicating. Yes, that's because he's not a professional communicator. But the reason why we have the presidential press is to sell the image of the president. Now, since they are there for that, they need to sell a very good image of the president. We cannot accept, it's not explainable to see that the presidential press is making mistakes in communicating. Especially those very noticeable mistakes like those. If myself, who is not even close to a professional journalist or a professional communicator, can see the mistakes that the presidential press is making, that means the mistakes are scandalous. That means the mistakes are big. That means the mistakes are huge. That I can notice. See, I can make mistakes here. We know everybody makes mistakes. I can make mistakes here, and I make a ton of them every day. But that's the presidential press we are talking about. It's not one person. It's a group of people. It's a group of people that work together, a group of professional communicators that work together to sell an excellent image of the president. You know, from publicizing the president's actions, from posting, whenever they are posting their videos or any images from the president, they have to make sure the image is honoring the image of the presidency, of the president himself. But you know, the way this press was working, you couldn't think they're working for the president. You would think they're working against the president, because the mistake they were making, it showed that there was a lack of consideration towards the president, lack of respect towards the president. When you rank the president same as an honorable senator, what is that? That means you are giving him less value than he deserves, less respect than he deserves. This is what has been happening in the press. See, they have mentioned here that grammar mistakes, that's one. But this grammar mistake, that's one. Now, there was also pictures. Sometimes they post some pictures that are just not honoring the image of the president. Like this image. A president is having a conference video meeting with the ministers, and see how the computers and all those cables are. It has to be neat. That's the first institution of the country. If we have to compare, look at Rwanda. Look at Gabon. Look at Madagascar. But why does our presidential press make these types of mistakes? You see, it's like some people that are working and not paying that much attention to their job. That are working without really caring, without really trying to not make mistakes. It's like they're working carelessly. Because, look, recently I talked about how the president of Congo and the president of Madagascar talked, and the president of Congo congratulated him about the COVID-19 cure. Look at this picture. See how well organized, see how everything is organized where the Malagasy president is, and see how disorganized it is where the president of Congo is. No flag there. It seems like he's holding a phone or something. You know, even just the image, nothing there looks like it's a president talking to his fellow president. All those things is not the president who's supposed to do them. The presidential press is there for that. The president has all those people around him to help him do his job, because the president cannot do all those things. Because, look, that presidential press hasn't been doing their job. The president has done a lot of things that, if he had a very good communicating team to share that, to sell that to the people, it would have been very good. It would have been, the people would have known how much their presidents have done. But I have a feeling that the people, the Congolese people now, even though they know what their president is doing, but they know there's a lot more that they don't know, because the presidential press is not doing enough work. I mentioned in one of my previous videos again that Kabila had his project that he called 5 chantiers, or 5 sites where he wanted to work in. This thing was publicized like never before. Like on TV we saw 5 chantiers, the 5 sites where he wants to work on. Songs. Now the president here is doing better than even what Kabila did, but unfortunately the presidential press is not doing the job they're supposed to do. Is not selling all those actions to the people. Now, most of those people there, unfortunately, they are from Vital Kamerhe's political party, UNC, and they're there because Vital Kamerhe was Felix Tshisekedi's partner in the 2018 elections. So they shared the post at the presidency. So some people estimate it's a very big mistake that Felix Tshisekedi did to let Vital Kamerhe's people take charge of his communication, because they are not serving him 100%. That's why I was saying the other day, it's like some people there at the presidency are serving Kamerhe, some people are serving Felix Tshisekedi, and some people are serving somebody else. Because you are employed there to serve the president, to sell the president's image. Not just his image, but his excellent image. Like the best image of him. That's what you're supposed to sell to the people, or to show the people. Because the presidential press is like the most disorganized press we've ever experienced in that country. Even the ministers don't do that bad. The presidential press was doing a very, very, very bad job. But hopefully now that they have a new chief, that they have a chief that is going to be doing the job of making sure that nothing embarrassing comes out of the presidency, hopefully they will do great. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for now. I'm coming back with another great topic, so stay tuned. Another one is coming. Ladies and gentlemen, may God be with us, may God protect us, and we are still together.